So welcome everyone, and thank you for joining us for FGIA's annual awards banquet. This is a very special event recognizing some very special contributions from among our membership. As you can see, you have salads and bread on your table to be enjoyed throughout the ceremony, which should last, we're shooting for 40 minutes. So I've got my eye on my watch. At the end of our awards presentation, dinner will be served. The bar is open now and will remain open throughout our entire event this evening. Beer and wine are complimentary. This is the part where your drink tickets come into play. So hopefully you work the crowd if need be to find those who will not be using their drink tickets. Otherwise, it's cash bar for cocktails or you can charge to your room. So with no further ado, let's begin the ceremony. We mentioned each of our conference sponsors during this morning's opening general session meeting, but their contributions really do warrant another recognition here this evening. Please join me in showing these sponsors our appreciation for their dedicated support. I'd like to ask each member of the 2022 Board of Directors to stand, and please remain standing when I call your name. Chairman of the board, Dan Parrish. I know, it's a little bit early, but we'll get to that in just a little bit. Vice Chairman of the board, Rob Gromish of Cardinal. Treasurer of the board, Bill Breeze of GED Integrated Solutions. Immediate past Chairman, Donnie Hunter of Connier. Rod Hirschberger of PGT Innovations, Robert Jutras of UL, Mike Turner of YKKAP America, Paul Bush of Vitro Architectural Glass, Mark Michelson of Anderson, Helen Sanders of Technoform, Kevin Inez of Milgard, Rob Luter of Lippert Components, Kevin Seiling of VECA, and our ex officio board members, Dave Cooper, DJ Cooper Consulting, Neil Digert of Solitube, Steve Fronick of Apogee, Ray Garris of Global Fenestration Advisors, Mark Hutchinson of Integral, and Gant Miller of Winco. These individuals all dedicate a lot of time and talent to leading our organization. Many thanks to each of you for your extensive contributions to keeping FGIA at the top of its game. We also have our Southeast Region Board of Directors. A number of these individuals are here. If you could stand, please. Lynn Miller of PGT, Carl Troiano of Trojan Powder Coating, Jim Blakely, Intertech, Brad Fevold of Marvin, Greg Galloway, YKK AP America, Ralph Ignoski of Wojan Window and Door, Guy Long of Prosoco, Jeff Skaza, Eastman Chemical, and the ex officio members Kevin Seiling of VECA and Eric Thompson of Quanex. And our Western Region Board of Directors, led by Mark Michelson of Anderson, David McDonald of Marvin, Dan Bidwell, MI Windows and Doors, Ralph Ignoski, Wojan Window and Door, Karen O'Connell of Sierra Pacific, Dan Rapp of Amesbury, Marvin Stover of Vision Extrusions, Tony Thorette of Quanex, and our ex officio board members, Joe Hayden of Pella and Mark Polonsky of HB Fuller. FGIA owes its success and recognition in the marketplace to the time, energy, and talent of our members, leaders who direct the activities of our board, councils, committees, and task groups. If you direct your attention to the back page of your banquet menu, you will see the list of member volunteers who served in these roles last year. With appreciation for their dedication and perseverance throughout 2021, FGIA is gifting a computer backpack to our chairs, which has padded shoulder straps, a front zipper pocket with an organizer and earphone outlet, as well as padded compartments to fit a 15-inch laptop and 10-inch tablet. Whoops. If your name is listed on the back of the menu, please stop by the gift table in that back corner of the room before you leave this evening to pick up the backpack that is labeled with your name. Thank you so much to all of our member leaders. Now I'd like to invite our 2021 Chairman of the Board, Donnie Hunter, to the stage to present the Chairman's Award, recognizing the FGIA member company which, in the opinion of the outgoing FGIA Chairman of the Board, has distinguished itself to FGIA over the past 2 years for outstanding commitment and dedicated support of the association and the fenestration industry.
Thank you, Janice. I'm honored to be the person to give this award. This year's winner of the FGIA Chairman's Award is a company known well to all of us for largely because of the involvement and leadership of one man. We honor this extremely deserving company tonight after 13 years of involvement with the association. This year's Chairman Award recipient is a testing laboratory specializing in performance evaluation of building envelope components. Their full suite of services includes on-site field testing, materials and assemblies testing, thermal simulation, and performance testing. The Building Envelope Services Canadian headquarters is located in Varennes, Quebec, a suburb of Montreal. Other locations are in Edmonton, Ottawa, Mississauga, and Vancouver. This company now offers prototype performance testing and window testing in the Ontario construction market at a state-of-the-art facility located in Toronto. The company joined AMA in 2009 and IGMA in 2018, meaning it is familiar with the day-to-day operations and interests of FGIA as it stands today. Its company's main representative has been attending conferences for the last 12 years, making a mark on the industry then and now. The company also contributes to the success of the FGIA Southeast region by lending the time and talents of another employee to that regional board of directors. The company is dedicated and involved in the entire organization and not focused on just test lab initiatives. They strive to improve our entire industry while holding themselves to the highest standard. The main contact for this company has a keen ability to take complex technical topics and break them down into layman's terms when needed. He does this especially well in the many seminars he has hosted during these various conferences. He has also been a critical resource for FGIA's monthly webinar program and contributing to these educational pieces for the good of the industry. He is known for his love of talking. If giving a set amount of time, he will typically use 100% plus of it to say his piece. One of his favorite things to say is, "Pardon my French," or he'll spend a few seconds looking for just the right English word. He is also recognized for his love of riding motorcycles. So let's rev up our engines now in recognizing this valuable member company. Please join me in commending this year's FGIA Chairman's Award winner, UL Laboratories, Canada. Robert, if you'd come forward.
In French, merci Donnie, merci beaucoup. And that's going to be it for French. You know, George could understand all I will say in French if I continue in French, but I won't. I'm honored, and the company I represent is deeply honored also. But, you know, if it wouldn't be for this group of people, the staff, and I won't name anybody because I'm sure I would forget some, but they recognize themselves, I'm sure. I wouldn't be here, I wouldn't be able to do what I'm trying to do for this industry. And also, I'd like to thank all the members. I'd like to thank Donnie, Vice Chairman, for choosing our company. It's so much appreciated. Yeah, I can speak a lot, but it's going to end in a couple of seconds. You know what? I'd like to thank all the member company, because we're here because our bosses, our company, whoever decides to send us down here, decides to do so and puts the budget for us to be here. And I think that this award is deserved by every member company that actually, especially in these hard times, put to their budget to have us over here face to face. Thank you. And allow all of us to actually contribute to this wonderful industry and wonderful association and group that FGIA is. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful night.
So Donnie actually became chairman of the AMA Board of Directors in February 2019. Part of the AMA IGMA unification plan included having him serve as the first chairman of the FGIA board, and so he was additionally asked to extend his term for an extra year to help support the transition, which he graciously accepted. As if leading through the first 2 years of the combined organization was not already asking enough, the world threw a global pandemic in the mix as well. So during his tenure, Donnie has guided the final planning and launch of our new organization, adjusting operational plans to meet the needs of the combined membership, establishing formal collaborations with 2 provincial associations in Canada, AVFQ and FENBC, transitions from in-person to virtual to hybrid conferences, most recently the addition of a new product segment, security screens, to our scope, and numerous activities related to our administrative operations. Through it all, Donnie has been patient and pragmatic and has always kept the exceptional value of the staff team, recognizing and rewarding our efforts at the top of his priority list. Donnie, we're deeply grateful for all of the time, effort, and expertise you have contributed to the organization over the last 3 years. As a special thank you, and since you're still healing from your wrist surgery, we've used all of our resources and learned a few key things about one of your favorite pastimes to help you get back on the tennis court smoothly. This Yonex brand racket is a very arm-friendly brand. Their rackets have a dampening technology that reduces the impact of the ball. The weight of the racket is 9.5 ounces unstrung. Florica did not believe there was a racket in that box when it arrived, which will diminish the strain to your arm by not having to lift as heavy of a weight. The racket was strung with Wilson's most friendly multi-filament customized set of strings, the Wilson's NXT strings. These 17-gauge strings are thinner to provide more comfort and spin potential. The tension is at the midpoint to provide both control and power. The customized colors in the strings and the racket tennis bag are red. That's no coincidence, since we wanted to add some of your favorite color, since you're an avid fan of the Georgia Bulldogs. Donnie, thank you so much for everything you have done for our staff and our organization.
Thank you, Janice, and the organization. Deeply appreciate it. I do have a few, if you will, parting words as I step aside and Dan takes over to lead the organization as a chairman. So even with the challenges over these last 2 years, I mean, the time has really flown by. It has been a pleasure to serve as the first FGIA chairman of the board. Going into this new era of FGIA, we began with a relatively new leadership with Janice and her team. Almost from the onset, as Janice mentioned a moment ago, the FGIA leadership team was hit with the impacts and challenges of COVID. In addition, over these last 2 years, we've lost some good people that were on the FGIA team, but we've also picked up some very valuable faces to replace those members on the team. Janice and the team have done a tremendous job of navigating these obstacles and the challenges in moving us to the virtual meetings, through the virtual meetings, and now onto these hybrid meetings so that we, as the team of FGI, can continue our work. So I would like to say a big thank you to the member organizations, their representatives, and the FGIA staff for making my time as chairman relatively easy and painless. So thank you very much.
And now I'd like to ask our new FGIA board chairman, Dan Parrish, to please join Donnie and me on stage for the official passing of the gavel. We have an oath for our new chairman of the board. I state your name, do solemnly swear
I, Dan Parrish, do solemnly swear
that I will faithfully execute
that I will faithfully execute
the office of the chairman of the board of directors
the office of the chairman of the board of directors
for the Fenestration and Glazing Industry Alliance,
for the Fenestration and Glazing Industry Alliance,
and I will, to the best of my ability,
and I will, to the best of my ability,
preserve, protect, and defend
preserve, protect, and defend
the bylaws of the association.
the bylaws of the association.
Sir, you may pass the gavel.
Stay up here a second. So thank you for this honor. I really do consider it an honor to serve in this capacity for the FGIA, the entire organization, the staff and the members. It's quite an honor. I just want to reiterate thanks to Donnie Hunter. I was one of the people that asked him to stay an extra year. Thank you, Donnie. The other thing I'll mention is the staff, all the work that they put into this event. A lot of behind the scenes work happens that we don't even see, and it's really quite amazing. So let's give them a round of applause while we have a chance. Thank you. And I won't be long-winded because we got to get on with supper and the rest of the awards banquet. So the last thing I'll say is I thank the Lord for the health and the freedom to be able to come here today and meet in person. So, thank you. I'll let you keep the gavel.
Yes, I need this
Okay.
for future conferences. Thank you both. Our next award this evening is the Marketing Distinguished Service Award, presented by the 2020 winner, Carl Troiano of Trojan Powder Coating.
Good evening. It is my great honor to present this year's winner of the FGIA Marketing Distinguished Service Award, as marketing is such an important part of our industry's success. This individual is a skilled communicator and a gifted writer, two areas in which a marketer is lucky to flourish. But he also excels in the technical side of his work, bridging a gap few can. His technical background encompasses illumination engineering, building energy engineering, and the psychology of perception relative to luminous environments. He once described his fascination with daylighting as having stemmed from a college project. It was when his professor asked him to assist with the daylight design for Denver International Airport that he knew he had found his passion. For more than 35 years, this member has devoted his work to redefining lighting and energy applications within an architectural standpoint. He has a thirst for knowledge, but also a yen for innovation and creative inspiration. He received his bachelor's degree in architectural engineering and his master's degree in building energy and civil engineering from the University of Colorado. After spending a few years leading multiple large projects at the AEC, he went on to complete his doctorate in building energy and civil engineering from his alma mater. Were FGIA to give an award for Best Dressed, this member would certainly be a contender. He is an outdoorsman, an Eagle Scout, and former Assistant Scoutmaster. This has given him a reason to go canoeing, camping, hiking, water skiing, and sailing. As John Westerfield once put it, when this member joined FGIA, his presence was immediately felt and appreciated. His education and work experience is invaluable to the efforts of promoting skylights and their role in providing natural daylighting to the building environment. He is very well versed in articulating some complex concepts involved with daylight design, while being able to quantify his statements with solid data. A walking, talking encyclopedia of information, this member has elevated the FGIA documents he has worked on to a higher level. Described by many, this member walks that fine line of being clearly one of the smartest guys in any room, but also one of the most genuine, nice guys as well. He's a true asset to the industry and the organization. Joe Hayden said this member continues to be a strong advocate for not only the Skylight Slope Glazing Council, but for FGIA as a whole. His input is always professional, rational, and well thought out. He regularly offers constructive comments in areas beyond just slope glazing, which indicates a genuine desire to do what's best for our customers and the industry at large. FGIA staff described him as a strong contributor of the FGIA branding upon AMA and IGMA's unification. He helped to launch the new brand by providing wonderful insight via the first ever FGIA promotional video that kicked off the unification at the 2020 annual conference. He's also just an all-around nice guy who brings positivity and style wherever he goes. He has many professional and academic achievements, but he's remained humble and kind. And finally, this member's wife, Heidi, had this to say of her husband. Personally, when I look at all he does, not only within his work scope, but for the community and for his family, I am in awe. He does all with the best of intentions and with a pure heart. As those who know him and have had the good fortune of working with or near him know, he also does things thoroughly and always the best he can do. What more can be said about this man? Please join me in commending this year's FGIA Marketing Distinguished Service Award winner, Neil Digert.
Wow, that's a shock. Thank you. Thank you so much. That's amazing. I am shocked. I have to say, this is totally unexpected and incredibly humbling. I have to say that
First of all, I thank my wife for supporting me, allowing me to be a part of this amazing organization, and allowing me to do what I do. I would not do it without all of you. So my wife and I joke at the fact that I spend more time with you during these conferences, committee meetings, than I actually spend with my family. So it is really because of you. You're the ones who motivate me, help me to do what I do, and I am just incredibly honored to be a part of this organization and to support the industry as a whole. So thank you very much. Truly, this is amazing. Thank you. Thank you.
Our next award is the Glass Products Distinguished Service Award, presented by the 2020 winner, Helen Sanders of Technoform.
Hi everyone. Great job, Neil, well deserved. This year's FGIA Distinguished Service Award for the Glass Products Council. The winner has been a longtime supporter of both IGMA and FGIA, and I really feel lucky to be able to call him a friend. A hockey player for years, one can only hope he enjoyed watching this year's Winter Olympics as much as he enjoyed skating on the ice himself, for which he did up to the age of 50. An outdoor enthusiast and Ohioan, this member enjoys hiking, fishing on Lake Erie, playing family game nights, and traveling with his wife Jen and their daughters. Though his hockey career has concluded, he still enjoys not only playing pinball, but with restoring old machines. And I saw the results of this hobby in person when he and his wife Jen so graciously invited my family and me to their home to dinner when we first moved to Ohio a few years ago. Their basement is an amazing collection of vintage working pinball machines, a sight to behold. I have no idea how he gets them down the stairs. My teenage kids, who thought they were in for an evening of boring adult talk, had a whale of a time playing pinball with no quarters needed. Apparently, Mum's friends can be cool after all. And he and Jen are definitely cool. This member's impact on his community is as clear as the mark he's made on our own industry. You may know him as a presenter at the annual IG Fabricators Workshop. There, he generously gives his time and knowledge showing demonstrations of glass cutting and washing. His prominent roles within the association show his commitment to education. These include serving as chair of the IG Fabricators Workshop and Preventing IG Failures Task Group, and the GPC co-chair of the Education Steering Committee. And he does it all with energy, enthusiasm, and an infectious grin on his face. As Jeff Haber once said about him, there have been many who have contributed to the success of the IG workshop, but this member was often the guiding and encouraging voice leading the effort. FGIA staff described him as kind, helpful, and a great teacher. Everyone recognizes his fun and youthful personality, which is, of course, never a requirement for being an educator, but it certainly helps. A graduate of Kettering University with a bachelor's degree in mechanical engineering, this member was also involved in Pi Tau Sigma and his field's honor society. He has worked for GED Integrated Solutions since 1997. Maybe he's a lifer there. Where his innovative engineering has made important impacts on product development. Mike Burke once told a story about this member surreptitiously swiping a rusty, old 10-pound silver mechanical nut, a relic from Mike's time in the Navy, from Mike's desk. This member quietly had this piece of World War II era machinery restored and replated to its initial splendor, While the nut theft did not go unnoticed at the time, Mike's patience was rewarded days later when it was returned to him as good as new. Mike said that this story showed a couple of things about this member's character. First, it showed how he always cared for things that are important to others. He can see that others enjoy and care about, even if he doesn't initially appreciate that thing himself. This characteristic is evident in his engineering, in his industry committee work, in his equipment design. He carefully listens to input from customers and industry associates. He then considers it carefully and incorporates it wherever possible. Secondly, Mike felt this story demonstrated this member's efforts to strive towards perfection. He is never satisfied with good enough. The care he gave to Mike's precious memento and the time and effort he puts into restoring old pinball machines to bring them new joy are clear examples of this year's award recipient's drive to improve the world around him. Today, we recognize this member for these esteemed traits and so much more. Like him, may we never settle for good enough. The winner was unable to be here in person tonight, but we have a video of him sharing his remarks, and it is with such great pleasure that I ask you to join me in commending this year's Glass Distinguished Service Award member, Bill Breeze.
Good evening, FGI members. I found out about this award about a week and a half ago, and I was really awestruck that I had won this award. I was just very humbled. So thank you for that. I've been coming to FGI meetings now for about 15 years, and coincidentally, my first meeting was a joint AMA IGMA meeting in Huntington Beach, California. There may be a few of you that remember that time. And frankly, I was a little bit overwhelmed. I'd never been to a conference such as this. And over the past 15 years, my friendships, acquaintances, professional colleagues, all of the people that I've met within FGIA have helped me throughout my career at GED, and have really it turned things around for me. What I'm trying to say is I have a completely different way of looking at my job now than I did before being involved with IGMA and now FGIA. I would like to thank Margaret Webb in particular for singling me out in many instances, putting me outside of my comfort zone often, and then she would take me to areas where I knew I would fail, and somehow she knew I wouldn't fail. So I can't thank her enough for what she's done. And I also would like to thank my company, GED, for having the faith in me to sponsor me to come to these meetings, these conferences, and continue to learn. Again, I'm just a little bit at a loss for words, so thank you very much, members, and I'm so sorry I can't be there in person right now, but I'll see you all soon. Thank you.
Our next award is the Architectural Distinguished Service Award presented by the 2020 winner, Ivan Zuniga of Conneer.
Good evening. Our next award winner is someone we all know very well by now. This year's winner of the FGIA Distinguished Service Award in the Architectural Products Council dove headfirst into his involvement with the association from the first conference he attended in 2016. He's an experienced marketing leader with a history of working in the construction industry, skills in operations management, strategic planning, and team building, The Central College graduate has generously brought his experience in these areas to FGIA work. For example, he has taken on the leadership role with the onboarding task group, helping new members become more involved in the association, and with the Aluminum Strategic Plan Task Group, creating resources for the aluminum fenestration industry. Notwithstanding his stature in his successful career in the industry already, he's currently pursuing a Master's of Business Administration from Northwest Missouri State University. Described by his wife, Tiffany, as resilient, this member steps up and accepts challenges and takes them on with stride. He has been known to take zip-line canopy tours down mountains, drive up Pikes Peak, and even swim with sharks. He once competed in a somewhat harrowing horseback barrel racing rodeo event for charity, and of course, all for his wife's amusement. Those who are regulars at FGIA conferences know this member enjoys a game of golf and is an avid runner and organizer of FGIA 5K events. He's also a gifted guitar player and singer. Perhaps he can show it sometime to us sometime. Tiffany says that he never turns down an adventure or food for that matter. If you see him with AirPods in, he's probably listening to either an audiobook or an Iowa Hawkeyes game. He's known for his bright smile and often has a cup of coffee in his hand. As this member likes to say, a gallon a day keeps the doctors away. This member sees opportunity where many others see obstacles. After 10 years living near Springfield, this member and his family of 4 recently uprooted and moved to the Jefferson City area. This man leaving behind a large network that included the church where he served on the board, a Kiwanis group, and volunteering shifts at the local YMCA. However, according to his wife, he thrives when given the opportunity to make new connections in a new community. Tiffany said that although we had just begun to settle into our new home, he has already made headway in serving the community. And she says, I'm certain that his impact will be as great as he is. FGIA is really lucky to have a person with such a dedicated member. As Brent Slayton described him, he has displayed great enthusiasm and knowledge at all levels within FGIA. His passion for his work does not go unnoticed. FGIA staff describe him as someone you can always be counted on without being asked. He just jumps in and does whatever is needed to help the association, always building connections and making everyone feel welcome. In addition to his other leadership roles in the association, this member serves as chair of the AMC Marketing Committee and is APC co-chair of the Marketing and Engagement Steering Committee. With well-rounded interests in industry matters like the Aluminum Strategic Plan Task Group and sustainability webpage development, he has brought much to the table with FGIA. Please join me in commending this year's Architectural Distinguished Service Award winner, Mr. Josh Wegnall.
Heart's pounding. Well, thank you so much. Those were terribly kind words from my wife and from everybody. Humbled. I don't know about the rest of you. These last couple years, I've taken the time to reflect And, you know, I think things like this and being back in person, there's no place I'd rather be with people like you. So have a great night. Thank you so much.
Our next award is the Residential Distinguished Service Award, presented by the 2020 winner, Todd Stratman of Larson Manufacturing.
Good evening, and thank you for your time and attention. I am pleased to present this year's winner of the FGIA Distinguished Service Award in the Residential Products Council. The recipient of this award is a man of many talents. Most recently, he was elected chair of the board for the Vinyl Institute of Canada, where he has also served as a director and vice chair on the VIC's board of directors since 2016. He is a talented chemical engineer with a wealth of knowledge and expertise specializing in materials. As a member of the Association of Professional Engineers, he began his career in the plastics industry with Royal Plastics in 1985. After that, his career took him to the automotive and building and construction sectors within the plastics industry. In his current role as Vice President of Materials at Vision Extrusions Limited in Woodbridge, Ontario, he oversees all aspects of material engineering and procurement. This member's technical expertise is well known and highly respected in the vinyl industry through his ongoing work as chair of several technical committees within FGIA, involvement with ASTM, and working with various groups in Natural Resources Canada. He has contributed significantly to the advancements of the same in the vinyl sector. He and his wife Rosa currently live in Mississauga, Ontario, along with their daughter Chantal. They also have a son Patrick, who lives with his family in Sweden. Because of the pandemic, this individual has only been able to meet Patrick's daughter and this member's only grandchild, Lennon, once. They were united this past July when his son's family came home to Canada to visit. This member attended the University of Toronto, where he received his degree in chemical engineering. According to his son Patrick, his biggest hobby is running. He has been running long-distance races for over 20 years now, including completing the Boston Marathon. He loves being active and going for bike rides, especially if he can do these outings with his family. FGIA staff described Tony in numerous ways: helpful, a leader and mentor, dedicated, kind, knowledgeable, hardworking, always prepared, and finally, humble. Involved in more than 35 FGI committees and task groups, this member currently serves as second vice president of the Vinyl Material Council. He is chair of the VMC Environmental Stewardship Committee, seeking to strengthen the image and reinforce the identity of the fenestration products and components produced and certified by AMA and FGIA members and licensees. In the foundation of the Vinyl Group, this member is undeniably a cornerstone. He is completely connected to the industry and its leaders. He leads groups to transform products, production, and perceptions. His knowledge is invaluable to every group in which he participates. He also understands how to educate and mentor others on key points to make them better vinyl members and keep the industry moving forward. This winner was unable to be here in person tonight, but we have a video of him sharing his remarks. Please join me in commending this year's Residential Distinguished Service Award winner, Tony Bella.
Well, I am extremely grateful and honored to receive this award. Thank you so very much. I want to start by thanking my family first and foremost for their continued support with everything that I try to do. If it wasn't for them, none of this would be possible. Also want to show my appreciation to Vision Extrusions, Victor Zen and the Zen family for the opportunity to represent Vision Extrusions at FGIA. They don't like surprises, and right from my first AMA meeting a long time ago, it was clear they wanted me to not only report back on the trends and changes that affected us, but also wanted me to make sure that we were part of and help shape those changes and initiatives for the best interests of our industry and our company. So they really encouraged me to get involved, and stay involved. And I have always been okay with that. I am ready to help and contribute in any way I can because FGIA is a great organization. FGIA has given me a platform to not only learn about the technical aspects of this industry, but also the softer skills like consensus building and leading committees. This association has really helped me build a career in this industry way beyond my day job. So thank you, FGIA staff, for your support throughout this ride. But most important, FGIA has given me the opportunity to meet and create friendships with people I would have otherwise never have had the fortune of knowing. So thank you, all of you, the members, for this amazing recognition. I really wish I could be there in person, but what can you do? Thanks again, have a great meeting, and see you soon.
Our next award is the Outstanding Member Award, presented by the 2020 winner, Joe Hayden of Pella.
So it really is one of the true pleasures of receiving this award originally is you do get to present the next year's recipient, and it is indeed my honor and privilege to share with you this year's winner of the FGIA Outstanding Member Award, a person who is approaching 20 years of involvement in the association. As leader of FGIA during both its beginning stages in 2020 as well as a global pandemic, he has seen our membership through some turbulent times, to say the least. FGIA staff in particular recalls him being exceptionally responsive and generous with his time in addressing his board chairman role. As FGIA Executive Director Janice Iglesias put it recently, he is always thoughtful and pragmatic in his approach to topics presented to him and supportive of staff recommendations. He has continued the long-held belief of organization leaders who preceded him that the staff are critical to the success of the organization. He regularly showed the value he placed on the team, which has spoken volumes. At his own company, where he has worked for more than 35 years, he has assumed more and more responsibilities for architectural education and consultation throughout North America. He works to establish aluminum materials and company brands as the basis for specifications. His success began with his completion of a degree in architectural engineering from Southern Polytech, followed by an MBA from the University of Georgia. He's been married to his devoted wife, Phyllis, for more than 35 years. They have 2 adult children, Brandon and Nicole. Phyllis shared some of her husband's favorite pastimes, which included spending time on the golf course, enjoying afternoons out at the beach, no matter what the season, and spending time with Kennedy, their granddaughter. He is perhaps happiest out on the dock of the lake, or when visiting his alma mater, the University of Georgia, in Athens on game day Saturdays to cheer on his team, the Bulldogs. In terms of his FGIA involvement, you know him, of course, as the chairman of the board. He is also co-chairman of the Fenestration Masters Program Management Committee, displaying his care and expertise in helping the next generation of industry leaders through education and professional development. He's been involved in NAFS and AMC marketing, as well as steering committees focused on education, regulatory, and technical activities. This person's leadership skills come to the association in a time when it needed him most. It takes a person of strong constitution to lead such a large organization with so many different members and companies who may have different needs and priorities. When Omni and Enigma unified in 2020, like-minded individuals who cared deeply about our industry's success were brought together. But this also convened more voices, more issues, and more varied interests. Even during normal times, we all know finding consensus can be a challenge. Our industry has seen disruption to production, labor, supply chains, and all that comes along with that. FGIA has approached these problems creatively because of members like this man. This leader is not just a skilled listener, he is a pragmatic man who can think outside the box. In the words of Nelson Mandela, I learned that courage was not the absence of fear, but the triumph over it. The brave man is not he who does not feel afraid, but he who conquers that fear. Challenging times call for brave leaders who aren't afraid to take the time and care in making decisions. This member and leader answered that call. It's been my pleasure to work with this year's winner. We are fortunate that he will continue to be part of the Board of Directors and the Executive Committee. Please join me in congratulating this year's Outstanding Member Award winner, Donnie Hunter.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, Joe. This is truly a shock and surprise. I thought that y'all had heard from me for the last time about 15 or 20 minutes ago. As recipients before me have said, that this is truly humbling and shocking and a surprise. I would just say that as I do with my own company, I try to put forth the effort in this organization just for the betterment of the members and the industry in this association. And while I've got some credit this evening for the work that I've done on the board, to me it's still truly the staff and all of y'all, the member organizations and representatives of those associations, that make this such a great association. I deeply and truly appreciate this. Thank you.
Congratulations to all of our winners this evening. Dinner will be served shortly, and Brian will be queuing up some background entertainment to enjoy during dinner. The bar will remain open until 8:30. Thank you so much and have a fabulous evening.